Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the thousands of dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge, and your help, we can save them all.
Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. I've got my two guests here today to help me talk about the wonderful partnership we have between the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill, the Sylacauga Animal Shelter, and PetSense by Tractor Supply here in Sylacauga. So thank you for coming on the show, ladies. I've got Jay Matchin. She is one of our volunteers with the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. And I've got Jen Whitworth. She's the interim manager of PetSense. So thanks for coming on again.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So you're both here also representing PetSense. So Jay, tell me, let's talk to you first. Tell me how you got into volunteering with Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill.
Well, Mitzi brought me in, and I started there, and then I started volunteering and cleaning out the kennels and all, and it turned into a part-time job.
So I don't know if everyone's aware, but here at PetSense, we have 4 cages there where we can have some of our cats that are available, and those cats come from our foster system with feral dogs, but also we have cats from the shelter that cycle through, and it gives us a wonderful opportunity to find adopting homes for these cats. So, you know, it's great to have volunteers because our volunteers man those shelters, and I mean those cages, and come in and clean for the cats and play with the cats and get everybody ready for it. So, you know, there are times that we also have more than 4 there because we'll have kittens. And here's a cat that we have on the screen right now. Which cat is that, ladies?
It is either Tweak or Puddin'.
Okay.
It's a male. He is 2 years old.
Okay. And so all of our cats that are there that are available, they are up to date on their shots. They're all fixed and they're ready to go to homes.
Okay. That is Daisy, and Daisy is a female, and she's a year old.
Okay. And is she the one you were talking about? This the polydactyl? That looks like a lot of.
No.
That looks like a big paw there.
She is a sweetheart. She is
Okay.
very loving, just easy-go-lucky.
And most of those cats that I've experienced there at PetSense are they're ready to go to a home. They're so loving, and most of them have come from that foster situation, so they love people and love to have some interaction.
Yes, we have wonderful foster moms that come in. They spend a lot of time with them. So once you come to adopt, they are ready to go.
And it's so nice because with those cages right there, then everybody that comes in PetSense, they get introduced to those cats.
Yes, ma'am.
And there are some cats that are more vocal than others, letting people know that they're there. So
yes.
Yeah.
Now, Jen, you've been at PetSense for how long?
This time it's been almost a year. I was currently there when we first opened, and I decided to take a little break for a while. But I am back, and I am more than happy to be back. I love it. I love working with the animals and people, and I like when people bring in different, types. We've even had a llama in there one time.
Have you really?
Yes, ma'am. It was really cool. That was really, really cool.
What happened where a llama came into PetSense?
It was a baby. They were coming through, and it had, I believe it had some issues when it was born, so they were going camping, and they didn't want to leave it at home, and they needed, like, an outdoor pen for it, and they're like, yeah, we got it out there, and I was like, oh. So they actually brought it in, and we got to play with it and love on it. So that was really neat. So any animal, as long as it's leashed, if it's, big enough to walk on its own, is more than welcome. And I promise you, it's going to get a lot of love. We may talk your ear off about it, but we love seeing all the animals come in there, from dogs, cats, to llamas. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Now, Jay, tell me about, you were talking about a bearded dragon that came in for Santa Claus pictures.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Usually the bearded dragon and snake is not my top priority, but a lady brought in her bearded dragon, and I got to hold it, and I fell in love.
She did.
Yes, and I would
did.
not give it back. And Jen is so sweet, and now they want to take up a collection to get me a
get you a
bearded,
Yes.
bearded dragon.
Miss J worked so hard, and we're just like, you know what? Let's just start a fund to buy Miss J a bearded dragon.
Now, Jay, you have cats, right?
Yes.
What will your cats think about a bearded dragon coming into your house?
Oh dear, I have 6 cats. I have four of my own and 2 grandkitties that are staying with me. I don't think they would like it.
Or maybe they would love it. You never know.
Yes, they might like it for dinner. But
I don't think the bearded dragon would love those kitties,
No.
but it could work.
yes,
I'm sure that it's worked in the past.
right.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about, you talk about all the different animals that come in. You've got supplies for so many types of animals. So
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
talk about what PetSense has to offer.
Well, of course, we have our standard dog and cat, and we have what we call our HABA aisle, which is our vitamins and just like over-the-counter medications for them. We even have our doggy calming treats,
Okay.
which some of those more hyperactive dogs, they are very helpful for them, and then cat treats and stuff. But we also are in the process of getting more things for reptiles. I know they're constantly changing and trying to figure out what best meets the needs of our pet parents. Small animals, hamsters, guinea pigs, rabbits, just a lot of different things. Oh, birds as well.
Okay.
So we do have a little bit of everything. I know PetSense is definitely trying to put more in to meet the needs of everybody.
And that's great.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
it's amazing what you have there that, you know, I wonder if most people in the area realize how much you have. Because, you know, I hear some people talk about driving someplace to Birmingham or something to
ma'am.
get different supplies, but we have it right here at PetSense, most likely.
Yes, ma'am, we definitely do. And I do encourage everybody that if we don't have something that you're particularly looking for, we don't actually order the store, our corporate does it, but feel free to let corporate know, hey, you know, this is only a pet store in town. Is there a way we can maybe get this implemented into there? So that way they know the needs of our customers around here. So we're not having to drive 30 to 45 minutes to get something. A lot of times, if it's for the bigger animals, I let them know that Tractor Supply actually owns us, so they're our sister company, and what we don't have, sometimes they have
Okay, that's
as well.
great.
Yes, ma'am.
And now what kind of brands of food do you have?
Oh gosh, we have so many different ones. Like on the more affordable end, we have the Caesar and Pedigree, Puppy Chow, and then we have the Purina Pro plan, which is an awesome brand as well. We do carry what we call 4Health, and that is our brand. And they like to let people know it's equivalent to Science Diet, Hill Science Diet.
Okay.
But it's, you know, a little bit cheaper because Science Diet, you know, can get pretty expensive. We do have Stella and Chewy's, which is a raw blend food. It has the freeze-dried with the raw in there, and it's great for your pets. It has a lot of vitamins and stuff that they may need. I have my pets on Origin, which is wonderful. I had my Shar-Pei Lab Mix. It was starting to lose a little bit of weight because I had to change her food to a sensitive skin and stomach, but she was used to a higher vitamin, high pro plus diet, protein, there we go, sorry, couldn't find my words, and I put her on that, and she's already gaining the weight back because it has more protein and stuff in it.
That's great.
And we try to let people know that if there's something that your pet's allergic to, we will go above and beyond to try to find out what brand and food is going to fit your needs best. And also, a lot of people don't realize that if you buy a food from us, go ahead and keep that receipt. Join our rewards program. If you don't have that receipt, we can pull it up. But if your pet don't like it or it's not agreeing with them, and you'll know after a few feedings, if you have at least half a bag left or more, bring it back in, we'll refund you, and we'll find something that better suits your needs.
That's great.
Yes, we want to make everybody happy.
Now you also have the specials where you can buy a certain number of bags of food. Is that right? Is it dog food or is it dog and cat food?
Yes, ma'am. It's dog and cat food. It's called our B10 program, and it's most of our food on there for dog and cat. It's you buy 10 within a year span, you get your 11th free.
Okay.
There are a few that are on the 12, get the 13th free. The only issue with that is I like to joke and say, you know, Uncle Sam's got to have his money, so you have to pay the taxes on it. But if you're buying a $100 bag, paying, you know, $10 isn't bad for that.
Absolutely.
And it really helps. And also, we have it on a lot of the cat litters. So
Okay.
if you do 10 of the cat litters, you get one free as well.
Great. Okay. Now, do you have any other specials going on right now that?
We are constantly changing our specials. We do have what we call our item of the month and treat of the month. This month it is our, I want to say, our Blue Buffalo health bars, and there's a bunch of different flavors of those, and our Mammoth toys. It's a little rope bone about this big for the pets.
Okay.
And we encourage, even if you don't want it for your pets, please consider donating, because the dogs at the animal shelter and the cats as well, they would love to have a treat or toys to play with.
And again, that is another part of that partnership that we have with PetSense, is that there's a donation bin right there, and then we can
Yes.
move all those supplies that are donated to the shelter, and that helps the shelter because the shelter always has needs, and there have been a lot of donations lately through PetSense and also just directly to the shelter, and it's been very much appreciated by the shelter. But it's nice because people can come in the store and they can
Very
see
nice.
things, and it's easier just to get something and make sure the shelter gets that. So it's
Yes, ma'am.
nice to have that that partnership. We do really appreciate everything that PetSense does, because we also are able to have some adoption events at PetSense, and it's just been a wonderful thing to have you here in town. And
Thank you.
now let's talk about one other service you have there, the grooming service. So
Yes.
you used to work in the grooming
I
gym,
did.
right? Okay.
I did.
So
I did. I have been a groomer for a while. I started grooming in, I want to say 05, 06 era. You know, I just graduated high school and everything, and it was just supposed to be a part-time job, and it turned into doing that. Our grooming service is wonderful. We have Amber Nicholson. She is now taking my spot as the lead groomer, and it's been really hard to let go, but she's wonderful.
Yes.
She's wonderful. I have stood by her and helped her and everything, but she's really good at it. And then we have Brooklyn East, who is our bather right now in training. So we have a wonderful crew. It's great. We love the animals, and we tell people the most you'll catch us doing is possibly back there dancing with your dog and everything, because we'll turn on music and we'll dance, and a lot of times it calms them down, makes them more at ease, because they're nervous. They don't know what's going on. There's loud noises, so many smells, but we try to make them as comfortable as possible.
and people just call the PetSense number and make appointments.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you can just forward them to the groomers, and they set up the appointments there.
Yes, ma'am. I do ask to bear with us right now with me transitioning up front as our interim manager and everything. Amber had to take over a lot of my appointments with me moving back there, but just bear with us. We will do our best to get back to you and get you in there, because we would love to see the owners' faces and the pets as well.
Now, we also have the self-serve area of the grooming. Do you still offer that, where people can go back and wash their own dogs, or?
We do. Unfortunately, it's down right now, and it's been down for a little bit. I'm trying to find a part for it. So hopefully I can get that back up soon on there. But, you know, it's $10 to the self-serve, and if you just want a basic bath, our basic baths aren't very expensive at all. I know for one of our little dogs that come in, it's only $18, but, you know, you're getting a really good bath, a blow dry. We make sure they're completely dry when they come out of there, smelling wonderful with all sorts of different options for doggy perfumes or colognes for our little male dogs, and it's great. We can make them super soft, give them a little spa day, 'cause, you know, every pet deserves their spa day.
They do.
On there. Yeah. I also, and it would have to be something to where I could do it in between working up front, but I groom cats as well.
Okay, and that's rare to find. We had a
Yes.
long-haired cat when we didn't live here, and we only had one person that would groom a cat, and it was so hard to find anybody. We ended up getting our own shears, and then poor cat looked terrible, and we would try to do it ourselves, but.
Yeah, I try not to shave them as much. You know, of course, doing their potty areas and their little paw pads and stuff, that's a definite upkeep. But a really good bath and brush on them, ear cleaning, and of course, getting those tootsies clipped, their toenails, is super simple to do, and most of the time I don't come out with any war wounds back there.
You never know.
Yeah, right. You never know, but yeah, I do. I bathe cats, and I tell people I don't know if I'm crazy or dumb, maybe a little bit of both, but It's a challenge and it's fun.
Well, good. You obviously are very comfortable around cats, or because they have not attacked you
No,
when you get water on them.
no, I've grown up around a bunch of different animals, so I enjoy it. I love them.
And now, what kind of animals do you have currently?
Oh goodness, right now I have 3 dogs. I have a little Chiweenie, I have a blue heeler mix, and a Lab Shar-Pei, who I actually adopted from our animal shelter. I saw her picture online and it was just, she tugged at my heartstrings, so I had to get her. Then 5 cats now, I think. And a 3.5 to 4 foot long ball python.
Okay.
So, oh, and my 3 ducks. I have 3 ducks.
So you do have a house full.
I do.
And,
And then, 2 kids. But
and then Jay, you have your 6 cats. Do you have any other animals?
Yes, we have 4 dogs,
Okay.
and I have two girls.
And you will have a bearded dragon potentially.
Yes, I
she
will.
will have a bearded dragon. We are going to get Miss J that bearded dragon.
Well, that'll be perfect. Then you can bring the bearded dragon on here,
Okay.
and we can discuss the transition of a bearded dragon into a 6-cat 4-dog
Yes.
household.
Yes,
That'll be perfect.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming on the show
Well, thank you
and
for having
talking
me.
about what's going on at PetSense. I don't think we mentioned, but Jay is not only a volunteer with Feral Dogs, but you now have a couple of hours. How often are you doing some part-time work at PetSense?
I go in after I get off my other job, and I work 2 hours just stocking and
So you'll see her smiling
Yes.
face there as well.
Yeah, she's a breath of fresh air in there. We love having her.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the show, and we'll have both of you back on, not just with the Bearded Dragon, but to talk more about PetSense and different activities that are happening there. And make sure you come out this weekend to the Sylacauga Animal Shelter. We'll be walking dogs from 11 to 1 as usual. And don't forget, if you have any donations, you can go buy PetSense. You can purchase some donations from there and leave them for the animal shelter, or you can bring some things directly to the animal shelter. And definitely go buy PetSense and meet the cats that are available. There are always cats there, and you can always go by and get your cat fix and find a new member of your family, or just go and play with the cats there so they can have some interaction while they're waiting to find their forever home. Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect, and we'll have more Daybreak after these messages.
Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the thousands of dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge and your help, we can save them all.